You know you can do anything better than anyone else in your own retail business, right? I mean, you're the person that started this business, you know everything about it, and only you can be the best person that can finish all the tasks in the business. You're the only person that can grow this business. You're the only person that can be on the counter serving clients. You can be the only person doing the ordering. You can be the only person stocking the shelves. But then it sort of gets to a point like gets really, really frustrating and really, really burnt out because you're doing everything yourself. And then you decide to get your team to help you. And then so now you're trying to delegate things to your team and they're just not up to scratch. And you're getting super, super frustrated because they're not doing anything that you say and they're not doing it in a way that you want it to. This is a really, really big frustration that retailers have. It's the same frustration that I had when I was first running my retail businesses. And today we're going to talk about how to build a retail business that runs without you. So welcome to my channel. My name is Alvin. I am the retail business coach that helps retailers grow their business and not be frustrated in the process. If this is your first time here, smash that like button. If you like what you're seeing here, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And I would love to see you in our Facebook group for retailers, where we talk all about all things retail and how to grow our businesses all day long. And it's a great way to connect with a like-minded community of retailers. So like I mentioned, retailers make this really, really big mistake, as I said, because we think that we are the best person to do everything in our retail business. And that's a really, really big mistake. Not only will it lead to burnout, but this whole business will depend on you. And a business that depends on you is really a slave master, right? So many of us got into business, hopefully, to create a dream lifestyle. Perhaps we were moving away from a corporate position in order to be our own boss. But we're trying to, we're all of a sudden, we're finding that this being our boss thing is actually so much fucking hard work. And we are the crux in the business and we're trying to do everything ourselves. And then later on down the track, we come to this realization like, oh my God, I'm working too hard. I should start delegating what I'm doing, or I should start getting my team involved. And that's the next evolution. We usually hit rock bottom with all the tiredness that occurs from running our business, right? The exhaustion from doing everything. So we get to this realization that, oh, we have a team, and now I can start to utilize my team. And then when we start to delegate in the best way that we know how, all of a sudden this frustration gets built up again because our team members, they're not doing it the way that we want them to. They're not doing a complete job. And then we end up having to pick up the pieces and we're like, fuck, what am I doing now? And we end up doing all the work anyway. So that's a really big frustration. I'm sure many of us retailers have have been in that position before, and it's so freaking annoying. So once we get to this stage where we're like, oh my God, I am just getting so burnt out. I'm trying to involve my team as well, and they're just not cutting it. It's right about this time that many of retailers kind of wake up to the third level of evolution in their retail business, and they now start to seek some outside help, or they probably maybe start to read The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. They start to read a few other books around growing businesses. And, we come to this realization that, oh, actually, we're meant to be working on the business and not in it. And when we get to that stage to work on the business, obviously, what does that involve? So, and then we start to go down that path. But when we realize that, okay, we are supposed to build this business and work on it, that means we need to actually create some time to get away from the day-to-day running of it to work on the business. How the fuck do we do that? So that's really another big frustration. So what I want to run through with you today is the 2 or 3, actually, I think there's 4 really easy steps on how to build a business that runs without you. So I think if you've gotten this far, you've understood the frustration and the big mistakes that you're already making in that you want to change this aspect of your of the way that you run your retail business. If you get this right, you are not only going to have a business that runs without you, but you're going to actually create more time and freedom for yourself. And not only to work on your business, but to be able to start to pursue this concept called life, which I'm so big upon, right? What else can we start to grow and develop in our own life? Maybe you want to learn how to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe you want to be able to pick the kids up from school at 2 p.m. Maybe you want to have a whole day off a week. All these possibilities start to pop up, but they're not going to happen if the business relies on you, right? So we need to set up this business that runs without us. So I'm going to run through those key steps that we need to take to do that. So step number one, we need to have a why. So we need to be super, super clear on, why we need to create a life that doesn't revolve around our business. We need to take the time to figure out what we want out of life, perhaps look at maybe where we want to travel, what we want to create outside the business. And the why component is really important to get right and to have this sort of vision for your life and what you want this business to provide for you. Because when it gets down to the crux, when you start to set up this business, this retail business, when you start to build it so that it runs without you, it's going to get tough. A lot of things are going to happen. You're going to have to start to create systems and procedures in your business. You're going to have to get all nitty gritty and granular. And that's really, really difficult in the beginning. It's really difficult if you're not working with a coach or a mentor. So I highly suggest you get one of those. And it just helps you along with that process. But also having a significant why or a compelling reason or a compelling vision for your future. If you don't have one of those, then when you get to this process of setting up the business that runs without you, it's gonna make it very, very difficult. Because when shit gets tough, it's when you fall back on your why. Remember Simon Sinek, he said, what's your why? So it's the exact same concept. And if your why is not strong enough, then you're just going to end up in this same circle of chasing your tail in your retail business, doing all the fucking work, doing the ordering, making sure it's growing. You're going to be super, super stressed. Not only are you going to be exhausted, you're going to compromise all your relationships with your friends, your spouses, your kids, and it's going to make it really, really difficult for you. So you need to have a significant why on what you want to achieve out of this business. The next thing is you need to start to work on your strengths, okay? So the biggest mistake that retail business owners make when it comes to setting up a business that runs without them is, they either get to this opposite end, they're really scared of outsourcing things, or they're really scared of letting go of things, or they let go of too much. But one of the important things that you need to do is we need to take baby steps and focus on our strengths, our individual strengths as a retail business owner in our business. And then we can start to delegate our weaknesses. So this empowerment of strength is so amazing because it gives us extra confidence. And, when we know that we're doing the things that we are good at, we excel in, and we start to propagate this further amongst our team. And we're going to be so much happier because as an individual, you hopefully know this by now, you're going to be so much happier when you're playing on your strengths anyway. Like, you don't want to do the shit that you don't like doing. So when it comes to building a business that runs without you, this is a great place to start, is try and figure out what your strengths are, focus on your strengths, and then start to delegate your weaknesses to the rest of your team. And this will just increase your confidence in the ability of you to set this business up so that it runs without you. And you're going to be so much more successful in this endeavor on building a business that runs without you. So that's the strength component. The next thing is systems, right? So you all know this. You've probably read the E-Myth, and you definitely know that you've probably figured out that when it comes to building a business, you need to create systems, and you need to create processes and procedures for everything in your business. And this ensures that your business is consistent. This ensures that your business is run a particular way and things are being completed, tasks are being completed, and there's total consistency in our business. The biggest mistake that retailers make is we kind of drop the ball as retail business owners on this particular part. Either we decide that creating systems is so fucking hard. And this is why you need step one. The why is so important. Because when it comes to creating these systems, right, we're going to, like I mentioned, you have to get granular. You're going to have to list down things, and you're going to have to really think about every single step for every single aspect of your business. And it's super essential that you create these systems to build a business that runs without you. Because once you create these systems, then now you can hand it off to somebody else, one of your team delegates, to run the system. And that's where it truly gets interesting. But the setting up of systems is so important, and it's just a simple fact of listing everything that you need to get done in your business. And I would always start with you, the retail business owner. Do a time audit of all the things that you're doing in your business and all the things, and then from there, take away all the weaknesses, and let's start on the weaknesses, all the stuff you hate doing. You need to start putting them into systems. And just step one, just write down every single step that you're doing for that particular weakness of yours, that thing you don't like doing. It sounds crazy. It sounds so simple, yet it is so difficult to execute because it takes time. It takes granular. It's so granular that, and it's really important that you get it right. And there are always going to be iterations of this process, because you will create a system, then you'll give it to somebody to run, and they might find errors in it because you're trying to write it as best as you can, and that other person is not you. So it's going to come back to you. You're going to have to redo the system and tweak a little bit and give it back. So there's going to be lots of back and forth involved. And that's why the why is so important. But going back to it, systems are really, really important so that this business runs without you. The next part is we need to start to simplify, right? We need to start to simplify our lives, and we need to start to simplify our businesses so that we have more freedom and flexibility in our lives. And so the simplification is also, also involves setting boundaries. So you need to set boundaries for yourself, set boundaries on what you want. What you want people to contact you with. You want to set boundaries on what people approach you with, and you want to set boundaries and really simplify the whole running process of your business. And that's a super, super big tip, and it's a key to being an amazing retailer. It's also key to having an amazing life, is to simplify everything in your business. So there you have it. There are the 4 key steps that you need to do to build a business that runs without you. If you've made it this far, I'd love to know what other tips do you have down the bottom. Pop them in the comment section below. How have you built a business that runs without you? Perhaps you employed some other strategies that I have mentioned here that you think are worth mentioning. And also, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And also, we have an amazing community, like I mentioned, for retail business owners over on Facebook. If you want to connect with like-minded individuals, learn tips and tricks to grow your retail business, I'll put the link in the comment section below. We'd love to see you over there. So until next time, we'll speak again, and enjoy building a business that runs without you. Bye.